on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is a late night edition of Big Games BS. Coming fresh off the flight, almost got stuck in Indy. Did not want to do it because I could have we could have got a steak. Chris would have probably hooked me up with a good steak at St. Elmo's, or what's the other one? But anyways, I walked I walked 7 miles. Wait a minute, oh shit, I thought Jaden wasn't coming. Oh, well, great. Good. I can do my job. But anyways, this Big Games BS, part of the media group, presented by the MFTK Foundation. MFTK Foundation, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff. We got stuff going on with the Gator Bowl clips. We have things going on that I haven't posted yet on the Twitters. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But we have the 7-on-7 right now. Big thing going on. Man, one of the reasons why we do this, so our 18U is going to be nice. I got to put up, man, $6,000 in flights. Yeah, so it's high school. So how it works is you got, think about it like this, varsity, JV, 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade. So like rising. So we have 10U, which is basically our 4th, 5th graders. Our 12U, 6th, 7th graders, 14U, 8th, 9th graders, 15U, mainly our 9th graders, your JV, and then your 18U is your high school guys. But 18U is where you got to get sexy. We got to fly people. I got some Cali flights. Who's the youngest person? Bryson. Oh. Bryson's the youngest person. He's the cheapest, believe it or not. Bryson Wright is the cheapest person on my 18U. So, I look forward to booking Bryson. All I got to do is pay for a room for Bryson. He did last year for fun. Like, he actually played against his dad last year. Like, it was crazy. At one tournament, and again, I'm not going to get into all the particulars, but his mom and dad, they're not together, but Kobe coaches and runs the organization with me. We're going to DR7, which is in the Orlando area. And he's like, "You're never gonna believe who's coming to the tournament." And I'm like, "Who?" Bryson will be at the tournament playing 14U. I'm like, "Oh, sweet. You talk Bryson into playing for you, man. That's awesome, man. We're gonna win." Nah, he's playing for Apex. He's playing for another team. His friend said, like, "Do you want to come?" So, but technically, he could play we could play him down on our 15U. But we've got some 2028s. That our 15U team is some motherfuckers. The 18U is loaded as well, but like I said, we got some. But on my 14U team, one of them, man, I was just talking to a mom. Just some of the things that these young men go through. Everybody got a story. It's something I learned in college. And the mom inboxed me. They hood. They hood. I mean, like Plies, I'm from the hood though. From the hood though. Like really, really, really from the hood though. Like they have a spot, but his one of his older brothers just got life. Just got hit. Like when that gavel, man. Have you ever been in a courtroom and heard, like, it sounds like the gavel is like audible. It's like it's stereo. It's like bah, life. It's just like, ugh. Like it hits you. Jeezy said it great in one was it Dope Boys? I forgot. Not Dope Boys. He's like, cause one slip and you're out of here. Won't be back into them damn Buck Roger years. But young man told the mom, like, you gotta pay lawyers, and I don't know what the charge was, but that life shit is tough. Andre, he's not a bus rider. Andre put the linebacker from North Carolina. He's nice. He can cover. I'll get the chance to see him more on the 10th. They're driving. His dad's a truck driver, so like that's easy. Like, but like it's like Erie, Pennsylvania. You know how fucking hard it is. Like I just looked up flights. It's nothing good coming out of, like, there's no good flights coming out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Nah, it would be better. But I don't know if I want to. I think once we get them, they're gonna be all right. They'll go. They'll do their own. I got to get them through the first couple tournaments.
Most of the PA's country as hell.
Most of the North. Most of the North is nothing like what you think it is. I grew up my whole life thinking New Jersey was concrete jungle, wondering why the hell they call it a Garden State until we buried my great grandfather. And I drive like, man, where all these trees come from? Like it's actually peaceful. When we went up there to bury my grandmother, right? Like we're in the township in Ewing. Got a Starbucks. It's like grass. I'm like, yo, if I lived up here, we could live here. Like, it's not bad. We got some ice cream. We got like all kinds. Like, man, it's kind of okay. Like, it feels like the South, but cooler. And then you get to driving, and like I swear to God, like you're driving, it goes from trees to concrete. Yeah. I don't even know what the fuck happened. And I'm like, we are in the hood. Trenton, the capital of New Jersey, is a big ghetto. One big ghetto. Even like Boston is like city, but like when I went to Amherst,
yeah.
Or you flew in what did I fly? I fly into Connecticut. Like it was all kind of lush. The greatest apple I've ever eaten in my life was at Amherst. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a wax apple. It was delicious. That was 9 years ago. I still remember it to this day. It was great. Man, you know what? Now I think about it, I missed out on that. I bet they had some bomb ass cider. Shoot, what else? It's all like Amish churning butter and all that other shit. Hold on one second. Push me on me real quick. Oh, Jaden, go ahead and tell us what we got going on with the show.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Big Games BS here on Monday, December 29th. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. We're going to start off hitting the ground running with some FSU topics. Some players have hit the transfer portal, and we're going to give you some updates on the program as well. Then we're going to discuss some college football teams, the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl that happened this past weekend, and a familiar coach before getting to the NFL games. Talk about the two games that happened on Saturday, then get into the slate of games that happened on Sunday, some of the important games that happened on Sunday, and talk about some quarterbacks and a wide receiver before getting into our BS or Bussin' food review segment in our Big Games BS section. So first things first, James, we're going to start off with some FSU transfer portal news. We got some players that have hit the portal from FSU. This is no surprise. FSU is leading the ACC in terms of players in that portal from the last time I checked. So we have some names on this list we're going to look at. But before we get into the FSU portion of the show, I just wanted to backtrack and give you guys an update on the new head coach for the Michigan Wolverines. So Michigan's coach is longtime Utah coach Kyle Whittingham. So this is Michigan's new coach right here. Whittingham has had a long record with the Utah program. Discussed it on Friday's show. It was discussed it on Friday's show. Got an update on it. Just wanted to update everybody else who didn't get a chance to hear about the new Michigan head coach. Gonna share this with you guys right here. Boom. So, yep, this is the new head coach, so you can put a face to the name, Kyle Whittingham, for you guys. And, yep, he's going to be leading the Michigan football program. So, huge congratulations to Kyle Whittingham. Just wanted to give you guys an update on this as well. Before getting into the Marcus Freeman update as well. So, Marcus Freeman has actually said he will be staying at Notre Dame in 2026. So a lot of NFL teams were interested in Marcus Freeman, and Marcus Freeman denied these interested NFL teams, which resulted in Notre Dame giving him a lucrative contract. So there's actually been some talks, courtesy of Yahoo Sports, that the powers that be at Notre Dame have given Marcus Freeman a great deal, contract, with his decisions to deny those NFL teams. So it looks like Freeman is staying in South Bend. He is going to be wearing that Notre Dame patch on his jersey for next season. We don't know about the other seasons, but for next year, for the next football season, he will stay. So Marcus Freeman, and to his family and to the Notre Dame fans, congratulations on this right here. And I wonder which teams in the NFL were interested in Marcus Freeman. There's going to be some more names that are going to get thrown out there, but I've heard the Giants so far. So if we hear some more teams that were interested in Marcus Freeman, we will definitely keep you guys updated in the mix with that. But those are your head coaching news updates for you guys in college football. And before we get into the Taxler Gator Bowl news, we have some FSU news to kick off. We're going to circle back to these topics once James gets back. But first things first, we got some transfer portal news, with the first being Florida State offensive lineman Lucas Simmons. So he stands at 6'8", 315 pounds, and was ranked as a top 10 offensive tackle in the 2023 class, and that is per On3. And according to Hayes Fawcett, he will have 2 years of eligibility left. Excuse me. Definitely a big offensive lineman right here. 6'8", 315 pounds. He hit the transfer portal. This was a part of, on the back end of, a list of a couple of FSU players who are definitely known in the FSU football world. They did enter the transfer portal as well, but this was kind of on the back end of all those players right there. And yes, he has entered the portal, Lucas Simmons. So yeah, we do have a lot of players that entered the portal. I don't know if we still lead the ACC in players in the portal, but last time I checked, we did. But this was one of the players, James. But we have some more names on the list we definitely gotta get into. So starting, well, first of all, did you have anything to say about the Lucas Simmons transfer portal?
Yeah, this one and the Montez, whatever his name is, those kind of hurt because like what they could be, the potential. These frames don't grow on trees. Like they can, he can be something, you can continue to develop that, but it's ironic to see everybody kind of go into a spaz, but then who's the one coach that everybody, that Florida State fans actually liked? Herb Hand. The one guy that everybody was like, if anybody could do it, is Herb Hand. So I'm kind of chilling on that. And then Bert brings up a good point. Like, that's a third of your scholarship players. We brought in 30 cats. Right now, freshmen. You got to make room for those guys. You got to make room for them. And then you have to, the portal giveth and the portal taketh away. Miami, I believe, had 29-something players hit the portal last year. And then they brought in, I think, 26 or something like that. I know my numbers are not all the way accurate. A lot of players do this. Indiana did it a couple years ago. You got to hope that there's a plan. But one thing that I know and there's a lot of other schools that are going through this. Florida just lost one of their better young pass rushers. They lost a good wide receiver. They lost a good DB. That's a couple good DBs. They've got people are leaving. different places for a variety of reasons. A lot of these guys are leaving FSU not because of a fiscal thing. It's because, well, only one's leaving because of a fiscal reason. And it's get paid if you can get paid. I personally think leaving for $200,000 or better I don't think that's a great reason to leave where you're at, but maybe he feels he can go play wide receiver somewhere else. But there are going to be guys that are going to be enticed to hit the portal. You only have a week. Once it hits, I believe that's how much time it is. But once you're in there, you're in there. I think a lot of these guys you're going to see be in there for a while.
You mentioned wide receivers, so we're actually going to talk about this wide receiver. I don't know if anybody want to connect the dots, but James, we had true freshman wide receiver Javon Boggs from Cocoa, went to Cocoa High School, entering the portal. I know he had a lot of upside attached to his name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading just people hitting me back. Fiscal situation, not a physical situation. But one other things too is that this is not to prove Boggs is somebody who I don't want to lose. Okay, I want to go on record with that. But can we pull up Boggs' stats? Because let's look at some of these guys' stats. Do you have a list, Jaden? Can you find a list? Or somebody find a list of the players who have actually left so that we can go through this. And I'm not saying that I actually wish the best for every one of these players. God bless them. But yeah. I'm not gonna cry. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. But let's see, and I don't even want necessarily like overall yardage. I want to if we could get they have a DMP or the stuff like that. Because some of these guys, you're saying we're losing starters, and I don't think you guys know if we're losing starters or not. So, let's see. Yeah, okay. That's probably good. Let's just zoom in on that. I know that's. I mean, I'm not trying. I don't want to be that guy, but I think it's more like the shock, right? It's the shock value of losing because he's a good ball player, real good ball player. That I think, but he was hurt. He had some injuries. He couldn't get out of that, and things happen. But I'm not finna pay you $200,000 more for that. You know what I'm saying? God bless, more power to him. 11.4 yards a catch is a pretty good average. I think he could be more. He's sure-handed, does some really, really good things. But at the end of the day going in. So, but y'all just gotta, yeah. So that's one right there. So, do you really it? Just take yourself out of Florida State, right? And just remove the emotion a little bit from it. Just step. This is what I do. I'm not here to tell you not to feel. As my guy Bert put in, that's a lot of guys to lose. But are we really doing this? Let's go to Florida State receiving. Let's just look at the yards in total, and let's just look at what we have, so we can, if you're hurt, you can't do anything for me. It sucks. Sometimes some people, this is why you gotta stop giving your kids nut juice. Drinking that almond's milk. Stop drinking the almond's milk. You gotta drink whole white milk. Red Caps. Do what Amon St. Ross dad said. You gotta eat dirty. Stop eating clean when you're trying to be a great athlete. I think when the situation came, hey, I like you, but if I'm paying you half a Billy, $500,000. You ask for 200 more, and I gotta go look. I gotta make it make sense. Like a lot of times, like some of y'all gotta go think about it like this. If you go into your boss, hey man, you've taken a year of vacay, and you haven't done anything. You think I want you to increase my pay by 50%. What you think your boss gonna say? You think your boss gonna be like, oh well of course I just love you being here and I need to make sure we pay you. It has to fiscally make sense. The physical performance is what makes the fiscal make sense. So everybody wants to go around, we broke, we this, we that, man. I'm just like most people ain't losing sleep over a former fullbacks podcast. Like there's some people in the comments like, that's what you get for big league and Drew Brees. I said, man, I'm sure Drew Brees is okay that a fullback asked for some ice 20 years ago. But like, before anybody gets mad, it's just a fullbacks podcast. Like, hey, just if the shoe were on the other foot, you would be like, hell yeah. But if somebody wants to pay you the bag, let's pay you the bag. Now, when Deuce Robinson says he wants to leave, then, hey, that's tough. But I don't think Deuce wants to leave.
We have another.
My bad. Go ahead.
Have another offensive player in the portal, Mr. Galvin Sawchuk. In his college career, he's totaled 1,714 yards and 20 touchdowns. Started his career at Oklahoma, but this year with FSU, he had 109 carries, 486 yards, and 8 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry. That was his average.
We're losing our starters, is what the people are saying and crying about. Facts. Like what? I can't. Like, come on, man. Like, have some pride, dog. Y'all was complaining about him. Why is he playing outside of the run that he had against Alabama, which was amazing? Very physical, very violent. He has played very sincere and soft. Very sincere, sensitive, and soft since then. Maybe again, can we pull up? Do we have Gavin's numbers? Can we pull them up? ESPN does the game by game. Maybe you can see something. Maybe y'all see something now. Or is it just we're just so ready to bitch and complain about? All right, man, let's look at this. Even in hindsight, the Alabama game isn't as great as what we thought. It was a great run. He had 6 carries for 28 yards, 14 of which came on 1 carry. Then against UVA in double overtime was his best. His best carries came in 3 losses. And even then, it wasn't great. 20 carries for 79 yards. Like, come on, man. We all saw Sam Singleton get in the game and wonder why Sam isn't getting more burn. We all saw my bow-legged dude, Osama been running and trying to figure out why he not getting more rushes. Y'all bitched about having like you where we have an abundance is in the running back room. Why are they rotating so much? They need to stop rotating so much and give it a guy. Then they do stuff to clean the room up. No! Why are they getting shut the fuck up? It's like y'all are the worst type of broad. You say this is like my favorite Valentine's Day song of all time. It's about to get, it's about that time of year when Bobby Womack's "If You Think You're Lonely Now" comes up. He's like, we always talking about what your what does it say? How you need to spend more time with me. But then when I'm there and broke, you're arguing with me about what your best friend got and what you ain't got and how I need to go out and get it. And girl, I can't be in 2 places at one time. You're crying about the room being too much rotation. They clean up the room so they can focus in on 3 guys. And you still complain. Like you act like this isn't what's going to happen. New running back coach comes in. This is also, guys, the effect of having a new chef come in. He comes in and he looks at the groceries and he sees that it's rancid and he can't cook with this shit. So he says, I want something different. That's what you're looking at right now. You didn't like Kevin Sawchuk. I'm sure he's a good person, but you didn't like him as a football player. I remember we saw it. You know what? Y'all might not want to join the Discord because once we start, can we save comments? Because I want y'all to be seeing what the fuck y'all be saying because y'all be acting like y'all just, why are we losing this person? Bitch, because you said he was sorry. But it, I wish him I didn't know he had. How many more years does he have? Like, because again, like if I walk in and you tell me that I'm responsible, again, I'm a running backs coach that's had multiple 1,000-yard running backs. And I walk in a room, I clearly know what it looks like to get a 1,000-yard running back. Y'all don't know what it's like to get that. Not me personally. I'm just saying the young man who's taking the job. He comes in and says, hey, there's something stank here. I need to find out. I need to flush it. And like he goes in, he flushes it, and then now y'all like, all right, man, with too many people being left. Too many guys leaving. Now, Lucas Simmons, I don't know how to say Manette Estes or whatever his name is. Like, you got one of them African names. Like, even the tight end that we lost. Jade, I guess you're going through all. Let's go see who else we lost. This one right here is going. I'm gonna feel this next one you show me. I'm going to feel. I just know it. All right, Ashlyn Barker. You're gonna feel that regardless. That's a lot of. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's over. He's the 9-game starter. Period of 36. That's a lot of production that's going to be leaving. I think he's going to find and I think also in the DB room you got guys who play man coverage. You want to get. They're trying to find more zone type guys. But I do like Barker, what he brought to the table as a safety, corner, all of those, as a DB, overall DB, pretty good ball player. This one is a little bit more that hurts. That boy said, Andre says, the boy bit in there. I ain't got nothing for Barker is one that might be one of the first ones that hurt. Before we bring up the Cowboys' old brother, Cowboys head coach, former head coach, older brother, we lost the tight end. The tight end was pretty good, but y'all cried about Pittman having the drop season. Again, he was hurt a lot, did not play a lot. The only one that really stings, I'll give Barker, but Jabril Rawls is a really, really, really bad loss. A lot of these guys, you could probably go in the portal, find somebody for a little bit of probably for a coupon, a similar player. But also a lot of these things come when you bring in a new GM. New GM tries to clear dead weight, and this isn't the greatest picture of him, but John Garrett's Jason Garrett's older brother. I did not know that he was at Florida State during 2022 and 2023. By the way, anybody lives under the sound of my voice, can y'all go do me a favor? Go look at how many people hit the transfer portal in 2022 and 2023. And then tell me you felt the same. I'm not telling you we're going to have those results, but what I'm telling you is you're not seeing anything that you have not seen before. You're just bitching about it now. It's the internet. It's the new thing. It's like, that's why I used to come up, what we mad about today. But my man got some head coaching experience at a small school, was Florida State's offensive, basically player personnel, the director of scouting for the offense, went up to Duke, was able to get Tulane's quarterback for Duke, was able to make sure he stayed at Duke, and then brought him on over to Florida State. I'm going to tell you this, a guy who I'm close to that we broke to this show that everybody says was the number one prospect was not the number one prospect. He was like, I ain't even heard from nobody from Florida State. And that'd be Martin Mayhew. Martin, we were talking about somebody. He said, I read John Garrett. We were together with the Bucks. He is also a really good hire. I'm going to tell you this. Martin Mayhew says he's a good hire. I'm going with what Martin Mayhew says. You know why? I don't fucking know what makes a good GM, what makes a bad GM. All he can do is bring the ingredients in and hope that the coaches can coach it to be able to produce a result. But what we can see is that Duke won the ACC. So clearly they've been doing something pretty good in the last 2 years that he's been at Duke. So hopefully he comes over here, revitalizes recruiting, and is able to find us some guys and some pieces to be able to put things in place to where we can actually effectively go out and kick ass again. You don't have my the white boy from Miami. This Florida State made another hire.
No, I'm not too sure. I have what you're talking about.
Camera, because Derek was talking to me about him, as well as Sabbath Joseph, who was at Florida State for a year before he went down. Taylor Edwards. Thank you. Taylor Edwards was at Miami for about a year, and they said Mario was heated. Taylor Edwards pulled a good, like he got the job. I think he still got shit at Miami. He just walked out. I like his pin sweep. I'm going to see a victory, for the battle belongs with you, the Lord. He a liar. I like that. what Drishka said, I like you. You lie a lot. He got a birthday coming up, February 4th. You know, he was working until he wasn't. He got all kinds of Miami stuff on here. He ain't got no Florida State stuff there yet, except for his profile pic. Can you type? It's if you Taylor L. I'm gonna go ahead and get Taylor a little follow. But he got sanctions at South Carolina. Oh, he cheating. Yeah. Oh man, I love an old thing. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. My man got the logo as his profile pic. He out here just wilding, living his best life. Ain't made one FSU tweet yet, but he quote tweeting. Reposting. UConn is expected to hire Marquell Adams or something like that, but he's not down. He's not with Miami. He decided to flee the communist regime, Mario Cristobal's Cuban communist regime, and come over here to Florida State and hopefully again bring some energy, some new life, pumping that stuff into Florida State, helping them win. But those are some hires that we have seen FSU make that hopefully transcend and do well as they continue to go into this cycle to get you guys to shut the fuck up. Hopefully it translates into wins, but things of that nature as well. So, because right now everybody's mad about every little thing that Mike and them do. So like, I'm just tired of this shit, because like a lot of this stuff, there's no way to quantify if it's good or bad at this point. You just wanted blood. And unfortunately, blood does not necessarily equal wins either. So, yeah.
The TaxSlayer Gator Bowl occurred this weekend in Jacksonville with a final score of 13-7, with Virginia taking the lead over Missouri. So, James, you were there at the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. How was the experience?
It was, my experience is dope. I mean, I get a chance to experience the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, unlike very many people do. But that was a boring ass football game. Like 13-7. There is nothing there's no way to get around that.
Yeah.
But there's a thing that and shout out to my dog, because my dog Derek Nicholson over there on defense with Missouri. Shout out to Dom Binker, his brother Antonio Clary plays for Virginia for Virginia. Shout out to him. But that's about as far as it goes. Like, nobody wants to see that shit. And it wasn't a bunch of opt-outs. It was just a bad football game. In a great stadium. Neither team travels very well. But I'm going to be frank with you. Missouri is supposed to be like, Ole Miss traveled, right? Ole Miss whooped ass. Ole Miss was mad that they were shut out of the college football playoff. They came in with a boldness and a brashness of we're the SEC and this is little old Duke. Whereas this year, Missouri came in with a similar energy to playing Virginia, who lost to little old Duke. And they had a running game. They had this, and people were like, they have an all-American running back. But it was just a terrible football game. In the SEC, we got to stop the facade of the SEC is the best. The SEC is top heavy. But the SEC is propelled by a bunch. Like, again, Alabama's good, but Alabama is not better than other two lost teams. They lost to Florida State. That's how we know they're not that good. But Missouri, like, you come in and you think that they were propelled. If you go back and you look at the record of who they beat, they ain't over none of the tops. And that's not saying Virginia is much better, but what I'm saying is, I think Virginia is technically the number 3 or number 4 team in the ACC, and they beat you. But the Taxslayer Gator Bowl, all in all, is a very, very good bowl game. Cream of the crop, best stuff ever. My boy Toby got tax. Was it? I don't know what it was. Something for touchdowns for teachers is the name of it. That's right. He won that. They had the kids, the Gator Bowl kids were there. It was all kinds of cool things that were going on that are associated with the bowl game that I was happy to be able to be a part of. The food was good. I brought eight all in all, I got 80 people in the game. They gave me 200. I get 200 people in, 200 busting seats. Angelo Smith put, we need D-Nick at FSU. James, what can you do to make that happen? All they got to do is call him. He'll come. He wouldn't have left Florida if they would have called him. But they have to want to come. And they got to want him to come. And I told one of the boosters, but I doubt very seriously they're gonna do it.
Now we are at the NFL portion of the show. We're going to start off with the Saturday slate of NFL games. So we actually have the Texans and Chargers game we are going to discuss first. And the Texans actually got the job done against the Chargers with the score of 20-16. So the Texans are now 11-5 now. So we're going to look at this box score right quick. Go and breeze through this. CJ Stroud, he had 16 of 28 from the quarterback position, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Herbert, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 236 yards as well. But he got sacked 5 times, losing 35 yards. Amarian Hampton had a rushing touchdown. Nobody had a rushing touchdown for the Texans. But Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel, 2 rookies from Iowa State, had the receiving touchdown for the Texans. And then Gadsden had the receiving touchdown for the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers lost by 4 points. And speaking of those rookies, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel become the second rookie duo in NFL history, in the first since 1938, to each record 40-plus yard touchdown catches in the same game. And shout out to the Texans, but not really, since they're in the AFC South. Only 7 teams in the Super Bowl era since 1966 have made the playoffs after starting 0-3. The Texans have now done it twice, in 2018 and 2025 this year, since becoming a franchise in 2002. So Texans definitely rewriting history on getting that slow start. And with their win against the Chargers, they clinch a spot in the playoffs along with the Denver Broncos. So you see it right here. Texans have clinched a playoff spot in the AFC with their win against the Chargers. And the Texans are 11-5 and 5-3 away. So that was your Texans game that happened on Saturday. And then you actually had a matchup between the Ravens and Packers that resulted in the Ravens pulling out a victory 41-24 against the Green Bay Packers. Lamar Jackson wasn't playing, neither was Jordan Love. So Tyler Huntley, Malik Willis took over for quarterbacks. But the star of the show was Derrick Henry. These were Derrick Henry stats against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, might I add. He had 4 touchdowns, 4 rushing touchdowns. He had 36 carries, a career high, 216 yards, and he's now top 10 all-time in rushing yards. And he has his 7th career 200-yard game, most in NFL history. So shout out to the king, Derrick Henry, because he is also the first player in history to have a 4-rush touchdown game for 2 different franchises. So he is a phenomenal football player. Lucky to have watched him, and he is now top 10 all-time in rushing yards, and he had a monster game versus Green Bay to help his team stay alive in the playoff hopes. So shout out to Derrick Henry, but overall not really a good game. Both backups were in. Ravens put BTA, but most importantly, Derrick Henry put BTA. Man, James, got a chance to train this guy. It's crazy how far he's come.
Yeah, he's crazy. It's a large mammal. Like, even seeing him now, like even like when I went to the Jazz game, I'd be forgetting, like I don't know how I played. Like, these cats are huge. But Derrick is very explosive. I think he's an alien, at least an Anunnaki, if nothing else. His durability needs to be studied. He's had a tremendous amount of carries since he's played football, but definitely since high school. And even going back to his Titans days, think of a world where imagine a world, right? Where you have Malik Willis, who's been performing well off the bench, Vrabel, who's coaching pretty good. Miles, you like Vrabel right now?
Yeah.
They're pretty good coach, right? Derrick Henry, I forgot the wide receiver. All 4 guys are doing very well with different franchises, but we're all Tennessee Titans at one point together.
AJ
together
Brown.
at the same time.
AJ Brown.
You said who?
AJ Brown.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, it's just amazing how one man's trash could be another man's treasure in the NFL. But getting back to the focus of King Henry, being able to will them into a playoff matchup, like a game that could determine everything. The Steelers game, like which will probably is what makes football watchable. No matter how bad it is, no matter what it is, you still have there's always that division that is so mediocre that it's not fair to the other teams. Each conference has one. This year's the AFC North, in the AFC, and it's the NFC South, obviously in the NFC. So, but the way he's running the ball 200 yards, and you would think that having 200-yard rushing games, I would think that would be maybe put you top 5, maybe top 10, but to have the most, I would have thought that. I thought it would have been more. I thought O.J. Simpson or guys like that would have had more games where they had more rushing yards, but that's a lot. That's a grown man. It's very difficult to tackle.
Let's tackle this Jaguars game because the Jaguars got the W against their division rivals, the Indianapolis Colts in Indy yesterday, 23-17. Here's the box score. So let's start with the winning squad, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. Trevor Lawrence went 23-37 and 263 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns though, but 1 interception. Got sacked twice, losing 14 yards on the play. Grandpa had 17 completions, 30 attempts, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Got sacked twice as well. Riley Leonard got in on the last play of the game in hopes of getting a Hail Mary touchdown, but that didn't happen, so he was 0 for 1. We held Jonathan Taylor to just 70 yards on the day with 21 carries, 70 yards, and 1 touchdown. We only have let 1 rusher over 65 yards this year as a defense, and that 1 rusher is Jonathan Taylor, arguably the best running back in the league. So Jaguars run defense is definitely 1 of 1. Travis Etienne Jr. led the rushing corps in yards, but Waffle House Willie got 2 touchdowns on the ground when we needed it. Beautiful, beautiful decision to scramble by Waffle House Willie. And for a receiving core, Parker Washington, no surprise, 8 receptions, 115 yards, no touchdowns on the day, though. Brenton Strange, 3 receptions, 54 yards, averaging 18 yards a catch. And BTJ with his 4 receptions for 39 yards. And Jacoby Myers had some timely and some clutch catches with his 6 for 39. Mo Alley Cox scored the only receiving touchdown for the Colts. And Foye Oluokun led our Jags defense in terms of total tackles. So shout out to him. And also shout out to the Seminole, Jarian Jones, for his timely interception in the game. Definitely shifted the energy for the Jaguars right there. These are your team stats. Jaguars had 5 more first downs. Jaguars actually had a 50% third down conversion rate compared to the Colts, who had much less than 50%. Jaguars are 1 of 2 on 4th down conversions, and we ran 13 more plays than them, accumulated 166 more yards of offense than the Colts, and we did that in 1 less drive. So in terms of rushing, you can see the numbers right here as well. We had 121 rushing yards compared to their 69, and then with passing 249 to 135, 114-yard difference. With penalties, Jaguars have been struggling with penalties, especially on the offensive end. They got 6 penalties for 55 yards, while the Colts got penalized 5 times, losing 45 yards. And Jaguars had 2 turnovers in the game, a fumble loss because of a hook and ladder play gone wrong, and then an interception by Trevor Lawrence. But Philip Rivers and company had 2 interceptions thrown, and the Jaguars had 5 more minutes of time of possession than the Colts. Definitely nitty-gritty game for the Jaguars. Starting off with that hook and ladder fumble in the first quarter, down 0-3. Jaguars are actually down 0-10 in this game. Managed to come back, though. That Jarian Jones interception definitely was needed for the Jaguars. And then as a result, second half, it was the Jaguars. It's got a touchdown field goal, even though we had a downs play, field goal 2 in the game. So Jaguars got the W in Indy yesterday. So let's get into some Jaguars facts before we get going. This is Trevor Lawrence's pass chart right here, courtesy of Next Gen Stats. So the Colts defense blitzed Trevor Lawrence on 47.7% of his dropbacks, their second highest blitz rate in a game this season. Lawrence was efficient against the blitz, completing 13 of 18 passes for 190 yards, 10.6 yards per attempt against the blitz. You can see his completions are these green dots. He has no passing touchdowns, so there's no blue dots. But that red dot right there was a potential touchdown to Parker Washington, but did get intercepted. Definitely a tight ball, but good defensive play right there. But
you had the matchup you wanted. He had great inside leverage. You threw it inside, which made absolutely no sense. There was sometimes like he was. You ever see like those things where you transition? Like he's like went from Trevor, he was Willie, and then he went back to Trevor. He like the Nutty Professor almost, and then he had to get. I think Liam slapped him and he woke back up and went back to Willie, because like he wasn't like it should have been two other times where he threw an interception. We had that wheel route. He kept throwing. He's throwing back shoulder for no reason. The guy has a step. Chunk it. Let him be able to use his speed to be able to run up under the ball. He did do it later on, and he overthrew it, but the overthrow was better than the underthrow interception. That we had 2 timeouts, I believe. Like Trevor could have ran the ball, which is why he got his 2 touchdowns. It's when he's running it when nobody's open is when he's making better decisions. But you also have to go and you have to save him from himself and say, hey, it's us or nobody. We're in scoring range. All we have to do is score, and these guys want to go to bed. Now the first turnover was clearly on Liam Cohen being a first-year head coach, getting too cute. Brother, ain't nothing cute about you, bro. We are medium handsome guys to borderline ugly. Operate like that. You trying to get pretty and cute? That's not your ministry. Do what you need to do. The game could have been over really early. And if they just go out, and I want them this week to execute the game plan of being dominant. Make bad teams look worse and make good teams look bad. You're able to do that. You have a defense that is playing very, very complementary to the type of offense that you play. Get up 2 scores and make these teams have to make mistakes in order to beat you. If you're able to do that, we're partying in San Francisco. But the cool thing in all of this is that Trevor made his mistakes. They did not implode. What they did earlier in the year and what they have done in the past is they have imploded. He did not implode. He kept that cool, calm demeanor, 21st and Phoenix Willie attitude that's been making them great the last couple of weeks. And he did enough to be able to win in a performance that was probably the worst of his in the last few weeks. But at the same time, show why he's emerging as a really good quarterback.
Going to show some love to head coach Liam Cohen, because Liam Cohen becomes the 11th head coach, since 1970 to earn 12 or more wins in his first season as a head coach. And let's continue the applause for head coach Liam Cohen, because he is now the only first-year head coach to win 12 plus games after taking over a team that had 4 or fewer wins in the prior season. So he's done something else no other head coach has done before, and the Jags have been doing something that hasn't been done in 2 decades, because the Jaguars secured their 12th win for the first time since 2005. So huge shout out to Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback right there, having career years in terms of touchdowns. So he is definitely doing his thing out there for the Jaguars. So the Jaguars will finish out their season playing the Tennessee Titans at home next Sunday, division rivalry game. So it should be great for the Jaguars. The Jaguars have scored 433 points on the season so far, and that is a franchise record. So the Jaguars have been breaking records as of late, and the Jaguars have the opportunity as well to get the 1, 2, 3. I think they're 4, 5, 6, and 7 seed in the playoffs. So they have a chance to actually be in any one of those playoff spots and seeds with this tricky AFC playoff picture. The Jaguars actually have the most to lose or gain in this playoff scenario because they can fall in any one of those spots. But we're going to keep you guys updated on the Jaguars, but we're going to give you guys an update on the Steelers versus Browns game. This was a AFC North division rivalry game, even though this is the worst division in the AFC, but the Browns actually did it. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 13-6 at home, and it looks like the Browns has the Steelers number, James, because the Browns are 6-1-1 in their last 8 home games against Mike Tomlin and company, and they have 4 straight home wins against the Steelers as well.
Where did Jameis beat them? When he said, I hope that God delivers me from pick sixes. Because Jameis beat Pittsburgh last year.
Yeah, I think that was last year. Yep. But they did it. Shador and company did it. Myles Garrett did not get a sack on the game. In his post-game press conference, he said that they were trying so hard to prevent him from breaking that sack record that they ended up winning the game. So that's a plus for Myles Garrett. And Shador went 17-23, 186 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers, 21-39, 168 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Both of those QBs got sacked twice. And Harold Fannin actually scored for the Cleveland Browns, the rookie from Bowling Green, 2 receptions, 30 yards on the day. And Pittsburgh made 2 field goals in the second quarter. Low-scoring game, but this game had a lot of implications for the AFC North because with this, the Browns kept the Ravens' playoff hopes alive by beating the Steelers, but they didn't want a thank you. So the Steelers actually face the Baltimore Ravens in the last game of the season, and we're actually going to come back to that game because we have some important news from a specific quarterback on one of those teams. So we're going to keep moving along with the NFL segment. Let's talk about that Eagles versus Bills game. This was a horrible game to play in terms of weather conditions, but if you take a look right here, Buffalo ended up losing at home to Philly 13-12. Low scoring game in Buffalo, and Josh Allen was heated at the end of this game. So we're actually going to get into it, but
let's Jordan 11s.
Yeah, he had on the Gamma cleats. So they ended up losing. The Bills lost at home 13-12. So let's take a look at this. James, before we get into the details of this game, I wanted to ask you, Keon Coleman was yet another healthy inactive in this game. He did not suit up.
Get paid. Get paid, YN. Just make sure the checks cash. You can't lose money if they don't put you in situations where you can lose it.
So Jalen Hurts, 13-27, 110 yards on the day and 1 touchdown. Josh Allen, 23-35, 262 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. James Cook averaged 3.7 yards a carry, while Saquon averaged 3.6. So similar averages for the 2 running backs. And in terms of quarterback runs, Josh Allen with his 7 carries, 27 yards. did better than Jalen Hurts with his 3 carries for 5 yards. A.J. Brown, 5 receptions, 68 yards, but Dallas Goedert had a receiving touchdown. No receiving touchdowns for the Buffalo receiving corps, but Josh Allen had 2 rushing touchdowns on the day. Marcus Epps and Matt Milano were your tackle leaders for the game, along with Cooper DeJean tying, excuse me, Marcus Epps. So shout out to those players right there. And let's take a look at the team stats for you guys. The second half was awful for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. The first half went to the Philadelphia Eagles, and the second half went to the Buffalo Bills, even though the Bills couldn't pull through. But you see right here, Eagles were 3 of 13 on third down conversions, while the Bills were 6 of 15. The Bills had way more total yards than the Eagles, but the Eagles still found a way to get the W. 190 total yards compared to 331. Josh Allen had 103 more passing yards, and there was 38 more rushing yards from the Bills side. Both got penalized a similar amount in terms of yards lost, but Josh Allen and company had a fumble. But the Bills had 11 more minutes time of possession nearly than the Eagles. But this was a crazy game to watch because this game ended down to a 2-point conversion that was wide open, but Josh Allen missed the target. We got the video right here for you guys.
This was bad.
Josh,
New analytics say go for it, and it's so difficult. Like, it was fourth down when you scored, right? So many things could you tempted fate and you won. Just take the points, and they give both teams an opportunity to score. But it also, a win keeps Buffalo in contention for the division, as well as, believe it or not, the number 1 overall seed. Now, a lot would have had to happen in order for them to get that, but they would need the Patriots to lose. And if they won, they would be in a position to be able to potentially win. And if they lost, nothing really changes. They're kind of where they're going to be at right now. So, very interesting in that. But I think they'll play. I think they're looking at not Denver, Pittsburgh. I think that's probably who they'll end up, because I think we'll end up playing the Chargers. I know it's them, the Chargers, Houston, Bills, Chargers, Houston, and somebody else I'm missing. But anyways, though, I see the risk, but I would have preferred they'd gone in a different direction for that.
Josh Allen had a pretty rough game, lost a fumble that ended up losing 27 yards, took a sack for a loss of 21 on 3rd and 8, and missed that 2-point conversion throw to potentially win the game. I mean, Shakir was wide open in the end zone, definitely had the opportunity to win the game, but didn't happen. Did not get a chance to happen for the Bills fans. But we are now at our Sunday night football section. We're going to discuss the shootout that occurred between the San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. Both teams were 11-4 heading into this game, but the 49ers are now 12-4, beating the Bears with a score of 42-38. This was a great game. Great game to watch for sure. Both teams with their offensive firepower, but I don't know how the 49ers are doing it. Fred Warner out. Nick Bosa, I believe, out as well. They're still managing to put points on the board. Also, Brandon Ayuk not playing as well, still finding a way to win games. And shout out to Mr. Irrelevant, aka Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, 24-33, 303 yards on the day, 3 passing touchdowns, technically 4 because on the first play of the game he threw a pick 6, but he also had 6 carries for 28 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, 23 carries, 140 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown as well. Jake Tongas, Jawan Jennings, and Kyle Juszczyk, fullback, getting some love, got the 3 receiving touchdowns. And Luther Burden and Colston Loveland got 2 receiving touchdowns for the Bears. And DeAndre Swift had 2 rushing touchdowns on the day with his 9 carries for 54 yards. And Caleb Williams went 25 of 42, throwing for 330 yards, and had 2 touchdowns on the day. So this was a shootout. Look at the total yards on this game. Chicago with 440, and the 49ers have 496
Not a
total
look at defense player.
yards. And we're going to discuss the penalties. So in terms of penalties, the Bears had more penalties. They got penalized 7 times compared to the Niners getting penalized just 5 times. But the Niners got penalized less times, but ended up losing more yards on the play. The Niners got 1 turnover, and the Bears had 1 special teams touchdown. And the Bears had 7 less minutes of time of possession than the 49ers. But take a look at this game. We got all the score stamps right here for you guys. Just pure chaos right here. So you take a look from the top to the bottom at all the scores that happened throughout the game. It was 7-7 at the 7:44 mark, 14-14 at the 13:48 mark in the second quarter, 21-21 in the second quarter, 28-28 in the third, 35-35 at 8:41. And then lastly, the 49ers scored with their touchdown, and they had a score of 42-38. You see it right there, but a great game. This was Caleb Williams' pass chart in the game for you guys. He was 25 of 42, like we mentioned, threw for 329 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. You can see the touchdowns are noted with that blue dot right there, and those blue lines you can see in the air. And the green dots are his completions. White dots are the incompletions. No interceptions on the day as well. So we got some more news. Shout out to Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy is now just the second player this season to have a pass rush touchdown in the first half in back-to-back games. Matt Stafford did so in week 7 and 9. And Christian McCaffrey has done it. He joins Hall of Famer LaDainian Tomlinson as the only players in NFL history to have 3 seasons with 2,000 plus scrimmage yards and 15 plus touchdowns. So shout out to CMC on yet another great position in terms of stats and those scrimmage yards. Keep on climbing for Christian McCaffrey. So run CMC. Shout out to you, man, on joining LaDainian in that extremely hard category. But what a great Sunday night football game to watch between the Niners and the Bears in San Francisco. It was definitely worth it. And just glad we didn't have to go into overtime because it was a shootout. So shout out to that game as well. And we are going to take a look at some quarterbacks and a wide receiver because there has been some news about them that has been causing some outroar. So first things first, we are going to discuss the Chargers quarterback, Justin Herbert. So according to Ari Meroff, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert will not play on Sunday versus the Broncos, according to Jim Harbaugh. So with the division no longer a possibility with the Broncos clinching that, they are on to the playoffs. And so for my Jaguars fans, this makes it tougher to earn the number 1 seed because that would have been dependent on the Broncos losing to the Chargers. So it's less likely the Broncos are going to lose to the Chargers. So it's less likely we're going to get that number 1 seed. So for all my Jags fans out there, just wanted to give you guys an update on how these seedings will fall into place, or more specifically, how likely the seedings will fall into place. So that's an update for you guys. And we're gonna come back to this point where we discuss the Steelers game, because the Steelers, with their loss, kept the Ravens playoff chances alive. And Ravens coach John Harbaugh, the brother of the Chargers coach Jim Harbaugh, had this about Lamar Jackson's status against the Steelers. So it's to be determined. We'll know a lot more on Wednesday, said the coach. And last week's improvement was cause for optimism. And he also said if Lamar is ready to go, he's playing. So it's to be determined as of late of Lamar's status for their final game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So just want to give you guys an update for any of my Ravens flock out there, because this game definitely means a lot for the division. This game has a lot at stake, and we definitely want Lamar to be out there leading his team for sure. So those are your quarterback updates. And we have some good news coming from the Steelers organization, James, because with the recent DK Metcalf situation, we found out that the Steelers could have voided DK Metcalf's guaranteed money, but according to Jay Glazer, we got the news that the Steelers decided to not void DK Metcalf's guaranteed money
because they didn't believe that bullshit either. They knew that man was lying. He didn't call him a hard ER. I don't believe he said he called him, to me, what's worse. You know what's worse than the hard ER? I would rather them say the hard ER than what they tried to say, like trying to be, I guess, politically correct in the 60s. You know how they used to say it? Well, those negras over there. He's a negra. An old negra. I'm like, man, why don't you just say it? Give me the ER. Stop trying to hide it. It's making it worse. Yeah, they put their own stank on the racism. And to be honest with you, racism is a power construct. I just believe he's a stupid person that just tried to do something slick, and he got hit with consequences. And I think the world would be a better place if we could do that more. I really think America would be great again if you could just go back to like what they used to do in the 1800s. And you go, I'll challenge you to a duel. Or some shit. Like when people getting slapped, life was working better. Like you just can't slap a hoe these days, man. Hoes don't know their place. They're out of control. Kudos to them backing their guy. Plus, they think he's pretty good and important to them, so they need to pay this man.
I don't think we're ready for this big games BS section, more specifically for the BS or Bus and Food Reviews segment we have, because this one is crazy. For all of my McDonald's fans out there, we have a video.
Is official?
No, we got the McGriddle casserole for you guys out there. I don't know how this is going to.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna like hold off because I'm intrigued.
Looks like dog food.
Because they're probably they're gonna bake it. I know that's fire, and it probably tastes good, but no.
Yeah, it looks like
it just looks like my stomach is gonna hurt. So I'm gonna say no. Gonna say no. It's too much. And you know, this is what sucks about Jaden. You're in that good age. Jaden's also in shape. And Miles is too. So you guys are in that prime where you can just do whatever you want to do. One day my body just said it doesn't want to process sugar the way it used to. And it said, F you, James, and I'm going to make you have to choose. And I had to start eating things. Like it's crazy. Like I can't eat the stuff that I used to eat. I started taking, like, it bothers me. But like in a younger age, I'd fuck that up. But there's like, I can't do syrup like that. Like too much syrup really messes with me. That's why, like, even now I get Belgian waffles, I get whipped cream and fruit. That's how I eat my waffles. I every now and then when I get some pancakes, the crispy edges, I get like that, especially if I go to like eating Annabelle, the Annabelle South restaurant where the crackers go. Like cracker pancake, them crackers pancakes is amazing. Just especially when it like gives you a little, you can hear it, the crunch of the edges. I only use one syrup now.
What?
Yeah, I used to take 4 of them syrups, bro. But what I do now is I pour the syrup in like a bowl or on a plate. And then because I don't cut my pancakes, I just use my fork and I divvy up the piece of the pancake that I want. And then I pick it up and I dip it in the syrup. Just a pop, just bop. Like not too much. I don't drown it. I don't baptize, just pop. And then I eat it. And it's all I need, man. Cause like I can't handle all of that because my stomach get to bothering me and it gets bad. It's bad. So
they never give me syrup, no matter how much they give me.
I'm also I'm a good biscuits guy. Like give me some good jam. I think Gagi got me on that. Like some butter and some. Oh, I saw about somebody putting me on. I think don't be surprised if one day you see me making my own butter from scratch.
Crazy word.
I'm not churning it though. Like you could take like heavy cream, and you just like take the little thing and you can whip it until like it separates from it makes clumps and it separates from the liquid.
That sounds like a lot.
It takes like 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then you get your own fresh from scratch butter and you just throw a little sea salt in that bad boy. And then like I'm just curious if it's like worth it. Like if I can start making my own butter and it's healthier for me, I'm going to roll with it. But like give me some good butter and a good strawberry preserve. And I'm just like, I'm gonna have, or apple butter. I used to wonder why the old people liked apple butter, but then I got old, and then I realized I don't know, maybe just stuff happens at certain times. But yeah, sorry, but we're gonna go with BS on that, Jaden, because we're old. We're not weird. I'm old. How old are you, Jaden? You're like 24.
That's crazy. I'm 22. That's hard. That's crazy.
My bad. I was giving you more maturity, man. Like,
yeah.
I figured you were young. I was like, I was
thinking about the bags under your eyes.
Man, he's been studying. Been studying. Did we find out the test results?
Yeah, I'm gonna retake it in February.
Oh, okay. So we get more money when we retake it, or are we good enough to go to school?
Yeah, but I just wanted to get a higher score to get more money. Yeah, like you said.
Bet.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm taking in retaking in February. But yeah, I'm 22. That's funny. Next year though, for my birthday, it's my golden year, so I gotta get blessed from the Dan Media fam. 23 on my birthday, February 23rd. So
oh really?
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
All right, I gotta do special.
But that's all I had for tonight, James. Everything I had on my end for you guys.
What's tomorrow? All right, well, we got really set up the Discord tomorrow, so we're gonna go watch bowl games in the Discord tomorrow. So, I think New Year's Eve is when they actually do the real ones, right? The playoff. But I know
Wednesday.
Yeah. That's New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
I know tomorrow Tennessee plays somebody, so we may just set it up so we can all go watch it as a family. And just see how everything goes, man. But outside of that, man, appreciate everybody for this quick Big Games BS, man. I am tired, bro. Like it really, like, the weather in the Midwest is treacherous. It was 68 degrees yesterday. It was 10 when I left.
Good.
With the snow, with a high of 20 today. And with 40-mile-per-hour winds. Like the wind, like I was walking downtown. So I stayed at the La Meridian about over there by was it Izzy the Izzy thing, Jaden, you know, where St. Elmo's is, the steak restaurant. And I was walking to the Sheridan. I think we stayed in we stayed in the Sheridan, right, Jaden?
Yeah.
So I'm walking to the Sheridan and I gotta walk into the wind, and the wind hit me. The first wind hit me like somebody hit me with a 12-gauge shotgun. But luckily I had on a good overcoat. But it was cold. It went from hot to cold, and then it snowed, and Chris and them got stuck. And they were picking on me about flying out so early. Because they're like, why you leave so early, man? You always leave early. I was like, because if I don't leave, I don't want to be stuck here. And they got stuck. So, yeah. So, good thing I left. But outside of that, man, really appreciate everybody for coming here and chopping it up with us, man. We will see you guys next time. Thank you.